G'day, welcome to our channel as we continue our journey around Australia. This episode has us coming into Hahndorf in the Adelaide Hills, and we spend a few days there. The weather's a little bit cooler than it has been for us, but we quite enjoy our stay in Hahndorf. From there we make our way to Benalla in Victoria. That's a trip of about 800 kilometres, and that takes us through to day 104. We're almost home and we've crossed 19,200 kilometres around our country.
Hahndorf is beautiful. It rained on the way up yesterday, so we left Adelaide with the rain, but it wasn't a big trip, so it wasn't too bad and didn't take too long to get here, only half an hour or so with the rain and the windy hills, but beautiful ride. Just a shame it was raining, so we didn't bother filming yesterday. Concentrated on the riding and nothing else. And I'm just in the little park waiting for Craig to come back with a coffee. Well, after a couple of great days in Hahndorf, eating and drinking just a little bit, it was back on the road and heading off to Victoria.
Once we left Hahndorf, the riding was really nice. We had a lot of lovely little towns to go through. The weather was nice and cool, the road surfaces were pretty good, and it was just nice to be out of the heat and enjoying the local views. We made our way into Pillion Bend in South Australia, and we've travelled so far, but I almost dropped the bike. The road falls right away and I put my foot down and it was further over than I thought, but with two people on the bike it nearly went. So we decided to park in somewhere that was a little bit flatter.
On July 26, 1885, near this site, we're in Pillion Bend, I'm not sure, 22-year-old Mounted Constable Charles McCulloch of Pillion Bend Police Station was tragically killed in the line of duty. What actually happened to him? They don't say.
After a nice little lunch at Tailem Bend, it was back on the highway.
We had a quick stop in Keith to put on the wet weather gear because there was a bit of rain coming our way. Another little town with something quirky. What was this one? It was the Sheep Art Trail, which spans 900 metres from the big windmill, connecting the Silo Art to the wetlands and the fauna park. We didn't see any of those, but we saw the sheep. There were 46 of them in total, and they were part of a fun community arts project that the town started back in 2010. They were great.
Pulled in a quiet little town called Glenelg, and we stayed in a reasonably modest hotel for the night. And I must admit, we were starting to get a bit tired, and we thought after 100 days on the road we might just go straight back home to Port Macquarie. But we got up the next morning and had a bit of a run and freshened up, and we got back on the bike again and stopped feeling sorry for ourselves and continued on with our journey. Benalla was a lovely little town to pull in and have breakfast. We had a lovely breakfast and had a little bit of a walk around afterwards. And again, I really love how these country towns make themselves so presentable and are proud of their history. we must admit, for rural Victoria, it's not as sparse as, say, South Australia or Western Australia. To come across roads like this was a bit of a shock. And we did speak to some farmers in a couple of towns up, and they were pretty disappointed with the quality of roads in rural Victoria as well. I mean, they did get better, but we were so lucky that traffic didn't come the other way. With a heavy road bike on dirt like that, it can be quite dangerous. But that's the perils of riding a bike around Australia. The ride from Hahndorf to Benalla was enjoyable, a lot cooler, and we started to get a little bit wet weather. This was going to get worse over the next few days, so we were in Benalla then. Instead of staying for 2 days, we ended up staying for 4. We'll talk about that in the next episode as the weather starts to close in. See you then.